How are we feeling? Diane is here. She says she got her good tarot deck by Colette Baron Reed. That's a good one. I have it too. How are we feeling? Yes. How is everyone? Heather's here from Texas. The Sunny Soul says hello. Keisha's here from Dallas. Kai Avery said it's a vibe, girl. She Wolf said, ooh, I'm feeling the music. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. The music. Ooh. Ooh. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. The music. Janelle's here from North Carolina. Boston. Good to have you. A.D. from Germany. A.D. from Germany. St. Augustine is here. Andy's from the Glove. Rhode Island is here. Richmond, Virginia. Good. Boston's here again. Florida. The Bay Area. What else do we have here? Michigan, Texas, Utah, Calgary, Atlanta, Austin, Texas, Kansas, London, Ohio, the Bronx, Cleveland, NYC, Netherlands, Portugal, Belgium, Orlando, Pittsburgh, Central Florida, Chicago, Paris, Richmond, Virginia, New Orleans, Florida, London, California, Washington, Savannah, Jersey, Sacramento, Arizona, Ohio, Long Beach, Maryland, South Africa, Australia, a bag of cherries. All that in a bag of cherries is from Chicago. I love that. Texas, Kansas City, Wales, New Hampshire, California. What else we have? Minnesota, Staten Island, Virgin Islands. Hi, Jess. Hi, babe. Sacred Circle Tarot School is in the house. What? Connecticut, Georgia, Quebec, Toronto. Okay, you guys, welcome to Astro Live Chat. For those of you guys that don't know, I'm Jessica Alexandria, the Hardy Life Apothecary, but I feel like most of you guys do know. That's why you're here now. Philly's in the house, Chicago's in the house, Dallas in the house, St. Louis is in the house, San Diego, Oakland, Trinidad and Tobago, Atlanta, Maine, Philly, Antigua. Yes. Dockery Julia says, been catching these often lately. Very glad I'm catching you live. Sending you love. Thank you so much. And 555. Did you guys see my upload on my recent video? It was 55 minutes and 55 seconds. That's what the video was. I love how those things happen. They're not even planned. I love it. I love it. Love it. Let me turn the volume down just a little bit. How's everyone feeling? I know that there's a lot going on. We all knew that. We knew that for a minute. We've been saying that for a minute. Nothing has changed. If anything, everything has changed. While nothing has changed, that's been the biggest non-changing thing is change, right? Woo! Yeah, how's the volume? Can everyone hear me clearly if I talk lower? Am I good? Because I've been talking all day, you guys. I've been doing videos. I've been doing phone calls. I've been doing content. I'm talking to you guys now. It's 7:05 and there hasn't been a break in the talking, so I had to definitely pull out my microphone. I've noticed that there's like a lispy lisp in the microphone thing, so hopefully I can get that fixed, but it is what it is. Yeah, so there's been a lot that's been going on. I know you guys know that. Just turn on the news every once in a while and you will see it. But pretty much what we're going to do is we're going to talk facts. I'm going to give it to you straight the way that I always do. Give it to you straight, give it to you good. We're going to be talking about all of what it is that you can expect for this week. I will say that it is one of the most advanced weeks, meaning that there's going to be a lot of things going on and we want to be able to work with it and juggle it. I feel as though, I don't know why I'm going to start off by saying this, but it reminds me of when I was in middle school and they had this gifted program. So there was a gifted program for those students that were advanced, that they were highly intelligent and usually very bored with their normal studies, that they couldn't fit into those normal classes and they had to take classes that were more evolved, but also more creatively inclined or more creatively wired for those that were creatively inclined. And that's what it is that I'm getting from this week, is that this is a week, if this makes any sense. A Hall says, love from Sacred Circle Tarot School. Thank you so much for being here, my love. This is one of those weeks that you really want to rely more on your gifts than anything else. Now, what makes this week different from any other week where we would be using our gifts? Well, this is one of those weeks where if you were left to your logical brain, if you're left to your normal routines, I know that that's something that I've been saying from the jump, especially to my friends and my family that have been panicking during these times. They're like, well, Jess, everyone's been calling me, blowing my phone. Like, what can we expect? When is this going to end? And the one thing that I've been telling all of them, no matter what it is that they're asking, is go back to your routine. Well, this is one of the weeks that the routine is not the answer. In fact, I'm seeing for a lot of you guys, you're going to want to be very flexible and you're going to want to be very malleable and open to what happens around us and to follow your intuition. This isn't a warning. It's just guidance and clarity. A lot of you guys have been feeling it anyways. Like Pinky Pinkerton is saying, I have prophetic dreams. Exactly. So what you want to do is you want to take some time to journal all of these things, capture these things. I keep saying this because it's one of the greatest tools in your toolbox is to journal and capture your intuitive hunches and try not to predict what's going to happen, but be open to receiving it. This is one of those weeks. Then you're going to watch some things on the news. You're going to watch some things in your community, your environment, the globe. Some things are going to start popping off this week. You're going to start hearing some really conflicting and concerning bits of information in the news that's going to be coming out. I feel like people who are initiating projects during this time, if you've waited this long and you're trying to push it out this week, you are going to it's almost like it blows up in your face. Instead of taking that this week and being like, oh, I'm defeated. Oh, this is a bad time. There's no way that this is going to work. Just realize that this is one of those weeks. And the energy of this week is designed to kind of set things into motion, and you want to be more flexible with it than you are fighting with it. When it comes to your physical health and your physical well-being and your mental health, it's very, very important that you guys pay attention to what is happening within your body internally. I want to say that there's no direct instant answer for anything, especially when it comes to complex issues such as that. It's very important that you vibe with what normally could be a solution and what could normally be a solve for an issue that you've been dealing with for a minute. Now you really have to open and embrace a new way of healing, a new way of feeling better, a new way of feeling good. What normally served you this week, I just want to tell you, go ahead and plan to pop it and throw it right over your shoulder. It's not that it's not going to serve you in the future. You just need to incorporate new ways of making yourself feel better that might be stand outside of the box. Let's say if you're a person who, I don't know why, but physical activity is something that's really been standing out to me for a lot of people. I feel like that one's standing out to me because it's the most obvious as far as what people notice change in their personal lives. Some people, they work out every single day, or maybe you don't work out enough. But let's say you're a person who physically exerts activity, who goes to the gym. Let's say this is one of those, that's the thing that's really been keeping you sane and grounded. Well, this is one of those weeks where it just feels like that just kind of pops out, and like maybe you're winded, maybe you're tired, maybe you're exhausted. So in what would normally ground you and root you and keep you sane and out of your brain and out of like you being anxious is actually you resting, the polar opposite. So for everyone, it's going to be so different. This energy that it is that I'm feeling, that I'm picking up within the astrology chart, is so general, not so general, but it's so large scale. It's so spread out and it impacts every single one of us. I have to remind myself now, and I hope I don't forget this message, but as this week goes ahead and as this week continues on, that I also have to take these certain things into consideration. So yeah, So that's one of the first things that's standing out to me that it is that I wanted to talk to you guys about. I know I dived right into that. Again, welcome to Astro Chat Live. Pretty much what I do during these times is help you to plan for the week ahead by looking at all of the planets and all of the messages that are going on in the charts. And I explain it to you. I break it down for you. Eric and Mel are current moderators. I'm seeing a comment right now that someone has a quick question about something. I believe it's, hold on a second. Sunny Dreams has a question, Eric or Mel, so if you can respond to her really quickly. Eric and Mel are the moderators of this chat, and basically they kind of clean up the comments. If there is, there you go, perfect. If there's any questions that are personal, I say that you reserve them for another day, another time. Astro Chat Live is a time for everyone to benefit from it. I'm here taking the time out of my week in order to help give you guys guidance and clarity, and also to help to connect with you. But I can't connect with everyone on a personal level. As you guys can see, we have 818 people that are in here now. So I want to make sure that this message applies to everyone. In the meantime, one thing that I really love to do, and then the encouragement that I love to receive, is if you take a moment right now and go ahead and hit the thumbs up button on this video. There's 824 people watching right now and 224 likes. So if we can get that thumbs up to about 400, I would be really grateful. This is just something that I'm learning how to be more cognizant of and aware of on the YouTube platform. I personally don't like to pay attention to numbers or anything like that, but it does make a difference to the growth of my YouTube channel and the quality of my YouTube channel. The messages remain the same, but it helps the right people see it at the right time. So help each other, help me. Wow, we jumped up real quick. That's wonderful to see that. So thank you guys so much. All right. Anything else I need to say? Okay, I do want to say that we want to keep this time that I'm spending, to me, is something that's very sacred and something that I cherish and something that I enjoy to do. I do it for free because I want to, and I do it because I know that it helps you. But I also have to say that this is a really safe space, and I want to keep it safe. Thank you so much. Little Gypsy says, thank you for all the love and energy that you gave. I appreciate that so much. And Shannon Dean with a little avocado dude. I keep saying that he's an avocado, but he's a pear. Thank you guys. But this is a safe space, and I want to keep it that way. So you are allowed to curse. I curse all the time. You guys know that. You're allowed to curse. You're allowed to speak openly and freely, but not in a way that hurts anyone, hurts or attempts to hurt me, or attempts to hurt my tribe. It will be blocked. Mel and Eric are on it, so we're going to be watching that, okay? AD says, please turn on Insta Live so people can migrate. No, thank you. Not today. I don't want to turn on Instagram Live. I feel like they should be watching. All right, fine. I will. I'll do it. I'll do it only because AD asked so politely. You guys know I can be pretty flexible. I'm a mutable sign after all. Okay, you guys, I'm about to go live on Instagram in about 3 seconds. Or about 10 seconds, 15 seconds. Once I go live on Instagram, you do not need to navigate over there. You should stay with me here. Okay, definitely stay with me here because you're my priority, my first and my foremost, okay? And then after that, we're going to... After that, then we're going to go, we're going to dive right in. Okay, so if you see notifications on Instagram, pretty much stay here with me here now, presently. Sophia says, what's your Instagram? It is Bahati Life, at Bahati Life, but for the most part, I want you guys to stay here with me on Instagram. Hey guys, from IG. We are currently live on Bahati Life YouTube channel. We are talking about the planets, what is that we can expect. So go ahead and migrate over there if you would like. I do have a gift. Let me go ahead and say this. Arlisha sends a little rock on that's so cute. I do have a gift that I want to share with you. It's the Animal Spirit Guides book from Stephen D. Farmer. I genuinely love this book, but if you guys know me, you know that I don't like to rest on any external resource. I always rely on my internal resource, which means my intuition, and allow messages to reveal themselves to me through my intuition, through journaling, and what that animal represents to me if it shows up. But one thing I think during this, one of the readings for this week, I don't know if it was the pick a card reading or the week ahead, but the hummingbird came through. And I shared what I felt from it. But I want to read to you guys from the book, the Animal Spirit Guides book, again by Stephen D. Farmer. I want to share with you guys the message of the hummingbird, because I felt this for all of us. Pardon me, you guys, with the microphone. I'm so sorry. I got the microphone here. And yes, this it can clank around sometimes. I'm still working out my system. It is what it is. Okay, so if the hummingbird shows up, you need to be very, woo! See, look at that. Didn't I just say this? If you guys are on Instagram, you missed me say this. You literally missed me say this. I did not see this until just now. I literally just said this on YouTube. Okay, you need to be very flexible with the twists and turns your life will take in the next days. See? Yo, you guys, I swear, I don't make this shit up. Okay, put more emotional sweetness in your life. You do need it. You're going through some very heart-opening kinds of experiences, and you'll quite naturally draw more and more love into your life. Openly express the love that you have and feel for those important people in your life. Give yourself the gift of as many flowers as you can. Spread them around your home and enjoy their sight and fragrance throughout the days to come. Call on the hummingbird when you're feeling down and sullen and want to lighten up, have more fun and experience more joy. Call on the hummingbird when you find yourself around any negativity or harshness and want to protect yourself and lift your spirits. Call on the hummingbird when you're feeling fragmented and distracted, ruminating about the past or the future and want to be more present in the moment. Call on the hummingbird when you're feeling guilt or shame about some perceived transgression in the past and want to clear yourself of these feelings. That literally hit the nail on the head, you guys. I was literally, for those of you guys that are on IG, I was just saying to those on YouTube, and that should be you should be migrating over to the YouTube channel. I was just saying to them that literally this is a time for just totally honoring like this new way of feeling, especially this week. And basically this is these new routines, these new modalities of healing for yourself, of feeling good. Feeling good does not mean succumbing to your addictions. Feeling good and taking care of yourself and self-care does not also mean that you are engaging in things that are toxic and draining and then saying, oh, I'm doing this for the sake of self-care. This means that for a lot of you guys are currently in quarantine and you're relying a lot on drinking wine, you're doing drugs, you're hooking up with exes, just doing things that could be really bad for you. You know what it is that I'm talking about. You know I don't have to say a whole lot because we all have our demons. For me, I was telling my friends, I fall back into my workaholic tendencies. My normal routine of cutting things off at a certain time has been thrown out of the window. And I've gone right back into overdrive. Of course, it ends up benefiting you guys, but because my energy is so high and so focused, but we all have things that we have to work on maintaining our balance. Color Rainbow says, how dare you call me out? I see you. Yeah, so I love the fact that just came through with the hummingbird message. I did not read this. I just flipped through it and pulled it open. The hummingbird is not one of my animal totems, not one of my animal guides. So I just love the synchronicity behind that. Okay, so like I was saying to everyone on YouTube, this is one of those weeks that you just want to go ahead and plan for some real unstable type of energy. The predominant space of this is coming from the fact that Jupiter is conjunct Pluto in the sign of Capricorn. Okay, there's a lot of people on the internet. I'm not going to even call them astrologers anymore, or intuitive readers, because they're not really relying on their intuition. They're just recycling what other people are saying, and that's not intuitive at all. No shade to anyone. I'm just keeping it real. I'm keeping it 100. Alexis says, who is the author, Jess? It's Stephen D. Farmer. But that's the last time I'm going to mention the book. We're going to move forward. But yeah, it's no longer an astrologer if you're not actually studying astrology, if you're not actually tracking the planets. That's no longer astrology. That's you just reciting what is on the blogs. Okay, so there's a lot of people on the internet that are currently saying that, okay, Jupiter conjunct Pluto, this is what this is going to mean, and this is what's going to happen. This has been happening for over 2.5 years now. There's been so many planets that have been focusing their energy Saturn, Pluto, Jupiter now. Am I missing anything? Mars at one point has been focusing their energy on Capricorn, and Capricorn is the breakdown of the ways that is that we know it. The thing that is our saving grace is now this week, mark my words, and you heard it here first. The same thing that was saving us before is now can become quite problematic. Our routine, trying to really stay stuck and honor your old routines this week can really mess you up. It can make you, I'm almost seeing someone's foot gets to slide, like you're walking on slippery stones. And let's say your goal, in order to get your goal, you have to walk through the river, like river rocks, and you normally walk through the river rocks one certain way. But this week is one of those times when, just because of the circumstances, just because of the storm, the water is a little higher than normal than it usually is. So the way that you would normally cross the river is not the way that you should cross the river this week. You could get caught in it. You can get stuck in it. Your foot can get tied, and it can turn a bigger problem, an issue that wouldn't be a problem before into a bigger issue. This is something that I'm seeing all impacting potentially all of us. This is not something to be afraid of, but it is something that if you're warned by it, you can move past it. This could be certain bear traps or certain vices that come up and snap your feet, or it could be something that was once healing and predictable for you that you've been relying on that now it seems bad. You want to focus on your feelings. Does this help you to feel good? Does this bring you down? Does this make you feel healthy? Does this help you to thrive? Do you feel better after you've done this? Not a temporary feel good situation, but a long-term feel good situation. Okay. For everyone, it's going to be different. Everyone is going to be so different. The thing is that this week in conjunction, it's not just the conjunction between Jupiter and Pluto. It's also the full moon. It's also Mercury in Neptune. It's also Venus trine Saturn. It's Mars squaring Uranus. There's also Mercury sextile Pluto. All of these energies are coming together right now to create, I don't want to say a problem, but deep irritation and a void space that it's like, this is going to sound really concerning and give some people anxiety. I hope not. But if you're walking down the path and then one person like slips down the path, it's like, oh, grab them really quickly. So we just have to look out for each other, really. On a global level, this is things like issues, power and control issues. I get we're working with coronavirus right now. I get it. But the coronavirus and how we're dealing with the coronavirus and how the hospitals are dealing with this and how our environment is dealing with this, all of those things have been set into place for years. This is not brand new. Yes, we're seeing something like the coronavirus irritating it, but it's how we're able to support this and how we're able to pull ourselves up that is getting revamped, that's getting reworked. So it's when all of this energy comes together, this stuff has been dormant for a very long time. So this is when we can watch certain people when Jupiter comes through and all of the energy of it. It's not just Jupiter conjunct Pluto, although that's a very powerful transit. It's not just Jupiter conjunct Pluto that pushes it all up to the surface. It's also the full moon that pushes it up to the surface and says, now we got to talk about it. And a lot of people are not going to be ready to deal with it. A lot of people are going to fall back onto their old vices. A lot of things they're getting shook up internally. You might have certain issues, especially you guys are probably like, well, Jess, Saturn moved out of Capricorn, so now I'm going to start seeing a sense of relief. You're going to feel somewhat of a sense of relief, but it doesn't take away from all of the journey that helped to get you up until this point, but it still brings certain things up to the surface that we will see. We'll see it definitely in our government and politics and in business, but you could also see it, a lot of you guys could see it in your personal lives. Why is this? Well, because Pluto still works with getting rid of toxicity. It works with shadow sides. It works with things that we want to keep hidden. It works with things that mess with our idea, our sense of control, our ability to control our environment. And when Jupiter comes up and pushes it all up to the surface and says, observe it, step into this, see the power of it. What are you going to do with this? It can really create a trigger. It can really create a triggering moment. This is when we're going to start seeing some things that were hidden. People, politics, people in positions of power in your life or in the world, you're going to start seeing secrets about them. It's really the high potential that there could be some type of revealing or an open dialogue of some secrets or some power thing. I don't want to say secrets in the sense of like shadow type stuff, but like, okay, this person steps out and finally comes out. This person finally says that, okay, our numbers were actually this. We were reporting this, and then all of a sudden there's this one bit of information that makes us actually admit the truth to the rest of the world or to our people, that this is the actual fact. This is the actual evidence. Pluto, even though Saturn moved out of Capricorn and is now in the sign of Aquarius, Pluto is still cleaning things out. Pluto is still seeing that there's mucky issues. And when Jupiter comes through, it's this power, a politician or government officials or people with money or prestige or success or all eyes on them that normally are seen in such a positive light. They come out and it's like, I have to address this. This is something that I haven't been talking about. And it forces it out there. In your personal life, you have to be very mindful of your own shit because we all got it. We all have shit. I've got shit. You got shit. You got shit. We all have shit. And when Jupiter comes through, the last thing you want to do, you guys, is go from a space of total ego. You don't want to say, okay, thou art better than, like, I'm better than everyone else. Like, everyone is in this together. We are all human. It doesn't matter how beautiful we are, how ugly our internal is, no matter how loud we are, how quiet we are, the evidence will speak for itself. The facts, the wisdom. Jupiter also rules wisdom. Jupiter also rules the guru. Jupiter also rules our ability to perceive and understand from such a larger perspective, from a grand perspective. And all of that will be revealed. We'll see how this impacts everyone or, the world. We'll keep our eyes on it. But if there's something that you've been hiding, that you've been pushing past, and you're not comfortable with accepting the fact that you're a flawed human being, then this is when those, I don't want to say skeletons will emerge, but it will need to be addressed. It will need to be handled, especially at the time of the full moon, which will be happening in the sign of April 8th. This is why I'm saying, my love, this is why I'm saying that, these old ways of you guys doing certain things, or you guys feeling a certain way, or you self-soothing, but also self-sabotaging, you have to toss it out. You have to be very, very honest with yourself. There's so many of you guys who are just like, I want to leave my house. I want to get out. I want to be doing this. I want to fly here. I want to do that. I want to make money. I want to do all of these things. You're talking about it. You're talking about it. There's a part of me and a part of the astrology chart that acknowledges the suffering and acknowledges the discomfort. But the planets don't poo-poo you. They don't take you and hold you and rock you to sleep. They say that, and that's why I respect them so much. I give astrology and the planets so much respect because they're like, listen, we don't care about your feelings. It's important, the spiritual side of your feelings, absolutely. But the challenges are there to force you to do better, to be better. It's more than just you. It's all of us. So man up, woman up. You really got to do something about this. You really got to make sure that you are not internalizing and taking in and absorbing things that we have been telling you and we have been trying to strip out of your life. So when you step into the space and this big old ego and saying, oh, I'm this, I'm powerful, I control my destiny, so you're not doing anything about it, or you're uncomfortable with the fact that you're pulled away from the rest of the world, do something about that discomfort. You have to. You're allowed to mourn. You're allowed to mourn, the loss of the old, but you cannot succumb to it and fall into this old way. You have to at some point get pushed out and do something differently. And I believe that it's the Jupiter conjunction in Pluto that happened, that was exact on the 5th. But this energy is long lasting, long term, and it only gets cranked up even more at the time of the full moon and the weeks to come. In the weeks to come, some of you guys are like, I'm strong, I'm resilient, I'm resistant. That's really what it is that you are. You're resistant. You are so set and stubborn in your ways. It's your ego that's being inflicted, and that's the same thing that will be taken out is your ego. Pluto will not allow it. Pluto says, your ego means nothing to me. You're feeling this sense of control that is that you need in order to feel safe in your environment is the same thing that is that I'm going to take away from you. So instead of you fighting and gripping onto it and being like, no, I got to hold on to this. It's the only thing I have left. Spirit says you've had so much more for you. You have all these things written within your chart. So instead of fighting and holding on to this old monotonous way, this old routine, this old ego, and the words, the same words that it is that you're using, attracting the same type of people, doing the same type of thing, is the same thing that it is that I'm wiping out of your life. Now, if you are like me, and you are working with this energy, you can totally maximize this into turning this weakness into your greatest strength. This is a transit that we're under right now that could really create incredible, true control, true power, true wealth, true security, and build a platform unlike any other. If you are willing to work with it, if you're ready to work with it, if you want to work with it, if you're not inflating your ego. I've been saying this since last week. It's not a bad thing to be a wealthy individual. It's not a bad thing to be a prosperous individual. It's not a bad thing to manifest the desires of your heart. But you don't want to be a person who's just greedily pulling things in and calling things in that don't even make you happy. You're doing it to be like, yeah, this is my husband, and he's, blah, 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 and we're happily ever after, when in reality, you're not happy, and your guys' relationship serves no one, not even you guys. So there's this really honest reflection, this honest adjustment that occurs around the full moon. I find it so significant and so impactful and so meaningful and not a coincidence at all, where this full moon is a super moon. So it's the closest that it is to the earth, but it's happening in the sign of Libra. Sorry, guys, did you hear that? That's Franklin snoring in the background. He's so cute. So yeah, Libra rules relationships. Duh, we all know that. Libra rules relationships. But more than that, Libra rules harmony. And harmony is just another word for coming into alignment with certain things. Now, in the spiritual community and in the spiritual world and on the fucking internet, there's so many people who are using that word. Are you in harmony? Are you in alignment? Get in alignment. What does that mean? Basically, that means that you are aligning with and holding hands with a something. But what is that something? It's not enough. A wise person doesn't say get in alignment. A wise person says and will tell you to get in alignment with your highest purpose, with your highest destiny, with a relationship, a person, a place, a thing, a circumstance, whatever, a purpose that actually matches your highest, the best thing that the universe could see for you that would fulfill your purpose, your destiny in a way that benefits everyone and hurts no one. So when you are actually, it's not enough to say to move into alignment, because you could be aligning with anything. You could be walking hand in hand with bullshit. Have you guys seen The Tiger King? I have. It is amazing. It is truly amazing. Those people who are loyal, this is a great metaphor, actually. Those people who are so loyal to the Tiger King, the people who are so loyal to Carol, I think that's her name. I can't remember. Those people who are so loyal, you have to ask them, like, what is it that you've aligned with? Let's take a step back. Let's take my idea, this metaphor that it is I'm having of the Tiger King. Let me pop it. Let me throw it away. Okay. Let's say it's a purpose, a destiny. In your mind, you're thinking, I'm going to be a celebrity. I'm going to be a this. I'm going to be a that. And that is the biggest, most idealistic vision that you can have for yourself. But at the same time, it's a fallacy. Because, and now everyone's different. Some of you guys will project yourselves into the public eye, and that's exactly what your purpose is meant to be. There's so many people who are now in the public eye that certain circumstances will help them to, unfortunately, I'm going to say unfortunately, because their life becomes, I don't say an example, but it becomes a magnifying glass. And under that magnifying glass, there's a lot of people watching them. And with that power, what can you do with that? What are you going to do with that power? And it's up to them. And I say that because we glorify celebrities all the time, or we glorify these public figures, but it comes with such a heavy responsibility and a burden that we wouldn't, us normal people would not even be able to understand. Like, we wouldn't be able to understand. Even me with my YouTube channel, like, I'm not a celebrity by any means, but I do get recognized, and I'm very cautious and aware of and conscious of the words that it is I choose, because there's people that are impacted by what is it I say. And I don't take that lightly. That's a responsibility that I will hold near and dear to me, and I will protect. But anyways, so you have this vision, this thing that you're saying, well, this is what it is that I want for myself. But if you sat with yourself, you would see that that is only the ego projecting its desires, and not your heart's true voice message saying that this is what you should do or what you should be doing. So the more that you put energy into this, the more that you exert energy into this, the more it ends up being destructive, not only to you, but to other people, because it's like time is ticking, like, time is moving forward. And you want to make sure that when you are sitting in this space of truth with yourself, that you're honoring the truth within you. Does that make sense? Okay. Okay. See, this is what it is that I wrote down. Yes. Okay. So with, I got thrown off for a minute there, but it was a random thought that it is that I had that I just want to sit with it for a second. But yeah, so with the Libra full moon, okay, this is about harmony and harmonizing, but also coming into alignment. So you want to make sure that whatever it is that you're aligning with, that it is not just idealistic, but it's purpose driven, that it's purpose filled, and that it also fulfills a purpose for your life and also makes you happy. And you will feel that within your heart, your soul, where that, what it is that you should be striving towards. And then that's what it is that you want to align with. This is when you find, and the truth of that is a resounding truth. This is when the truth of that is so obvious and so clear to you that you have to then take any portion of your ego that stops you, that halts you from seeing that into fruition, and you have to pop it out and throw it away. This is going to be like a sacrifice. It's going to feel like a sacrifice, because you're going to have to sacrifice some comfort. You're going to have to sacrifice some things, like maybe travel, in order to see this thing into its fulfillment. Let's say if your purpose is to be a mother, you're going to have to sacrifice, more, all the time that it is that you had for yourself, to focus on yourself, to now focus on nurturing and fostering this new life, and make sure that that life is thriving and that it has a chance. Okay, so these are all things that are all working under this. Some song says, my ego is too big for that. And that sucks. Could you imagine that that's honest. That's honest right there. Them saying that my ego is too big for that. First of all, you're wrong too. It's TOO. But outside of that, your ego is too big for that. Then guess what? That's all you'll have at the end of the day is just your ego. And that's really unfortunate. So I still want to challenge. That's a really honest confession. I'm going to call it a confession. But I really wanted to I saw that and I wanted to share that, because there's a lot of you guys who you have to hear that person actively making that choice to honor their ego over everything else. Because at the end of the day, that's literally all that they will get. That's literally all that they will succumb to, is what the ego wants. And your life will collapse under that sugary sweetness that is a cancer. It is a plague on your life. It's a plague on your life. Okay? So, moving forward. Okay. One thing that I wrote down is that under the light of this Jupiter conjunction Pluto, this Jupiter conjuncting Pluto, Jupiter Pluto conjunction is just me and my own humor with myself. Is that you want to use this energy to emerge. Pluto rules the energy of the phoenix. It's taking all of what has ever happened and totally being reborn because of this. Because of that, this is more than you being like putting a post on Instagram or putting a selfie with a cute witty caption on the bottom of it and being like, the phoenix is reborn. What did you do to bring the phoenix, which is you, to brand new life? What did you actually do? What are you actually doing? What have you actually committed to? What is your actual plan to reemerge brand new? Don't talk about it, be about it. Okay? That's only feeding your ego. The time that it took you to take that selfie and to edit that selfie, because believe me, I know all about that. Okay? I edit the crap out of my selfies a lot of the times, for the most part. Right? But the time that it took you to take that selfie, edit that selfie, find a quote to post underneath that selfie, use the hashtags and the tags in order to put that selfie on the internet, then post, and then read the comments, then respond to the comments, then respond to the DMs, that could have been an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours of you applying to the actual reemergence of the phoenix that is you now that you said you were. So it's all about this internal, I can't talk about it anymore. I got to be about it. This change has got to be major. It's got to be major. It cannot be a slight adjustment. There's no way. There's no way. How can you, unless that small change in some way, shape, or form is super significant. Okay, there's no way. Let's say some of you guys, let's say some of you, it can't be subtle. It has to be an active declaration. It has to be, this is my new life. You cannot take this from me. I have given it to myself. Okay, that's the energy that we're working with. That's the real phoenix here. That's a person who's stepping into their power. That's the person who's taking all of the energy of Jupiter. Jupiter is a planet of abundance, but what type of abundance are we pouring into ourselves? Saying the word abundance is not enough. Abundance can mean a lot of what? A lot of what? A lot of bullshit, a lot of superficial fluff, a lot of unhealthy circumstances, a lot of ridiculous relationships, and engaging with people who are distracting you from actually working on your business plan and fulfilling, whatever it is, this prophecy that's written for your life. Don't talk about it, be about it. There needs to be a sacrifice, meaning that there's something that is exchanged so that you can become more. It's not something that will hurt you, that will physically hurt you mentally, emotionally, spiritually. It's not there to hurt you. It's there to make you better. If there are certain things that you've been doing, certain things that you've been succumbing to that have been hurting you, that's what needs to be sacrificed. Why? Like, we understand why, and Spirit says, I understand why you felt the need to hurt yourself, because how does that you've been feeling internally? You've been hurting for so long, so all you know is hurt, and then you add on to your own hurt by adding to your hurt. But stop doing that. That needs to be sacrificed. If you have to sit in the mirror every single day and tell yourself, I am Jupiter rising. I am a guru. I want to find my internal wisdom. I want to perfect my studies. I want to become the master. I want to write the master thesis of my life. I want to fulfill this prophecy. I want to have abundant blessings of financial wealth and health and healing over my life and the life of my children. I want a partner who does not suck the life out of me just by looking at them sitting on the sofa on their phone for 24 hours a day. They don't have any purpose. They don't have any destiny going for them. They just are happy with their status quo. Or maybe that's you. Whatever it is that you got to do in order to speak life into you is what you have to do. Something has to be sacrificed. The ways of the old have to be kind of shifted and evaluated. April 7th, which is tomorrow. Okay. April 7th, tomorrow. This is when Mars squares off with Uranus, right? Mars is the planet of drive, ambition, but it's also the it's also the planet that wants to beat your ass up. It's the planet in the way that says, I'm going to fight you. Okay? Mars walks around with a shanking knife. For real, Mars walks around, and Mars is from these streets. Mars doesn't mess around. Mars has been there, done that, and will do it again. Like, that's how serious Mars energy is. Mars isn't playing around. And what happens is that Mars usually, when it's constructive and when it's focused, it can create and protect and build and fuel and power and a total empire. But that same planet, under certain circumstances, on a certain night, in a certain alleyway, will shank you. It will shank you so quick. It will catch you. It will catch you off guard. And that's what it is that we're working with this week. That's nothing to be concerned about, but just be mindful of it. You know, follow your intuition. If something feels off, if something feels weird, don't go that way. Okay? If someone says something to you, maybe you are Mars. Maybe someone says something to you and they just catch you. It's the full moon. You're in your feelings. There's a lot of things that you're dealing with. There's a lot of things that you're focusing on. There's a lot of shit going on in this world. And someone says something to you, and that internal Mars is like, shank, shank. Like, I'm not saying that anyone's going to go and shanking anyone. That's not what it is that I'm saying. YouTube's going to start blocking my videos and start demonetizing my videos or whatever. It's making it so that I can't get paid on the YouTube platform. It is what it is. But really, Mars, it's like that switch. You catch the planet off guard, you pissed him off, and he hit his max. He hit his max capacity. Everyone has their strengths and their weaknesses. And at this point, you guys know what buttons you don't want pushed. We all have, no matter how much of a lamb you are, a lamb will still kick you in your mouth if you get too close to its behind, right? Same thing with a horse. You know better than to walk up to a horse and slap its ass. You will get a hoof right in the face or in the chest or the stomach, and you will be gasping for breath, or you'd have to rearrange your face after that whole entire encounter. That's what Mars's energy gives, is just don't come up and slap the horse on the bottom of the butt if you don't want to get kicked in the face. Is this permission for you to lash out? Absolutely. Absolutely not Absolutely not. Do not lash out at anyone or anything. If someone is sick, if someone is tired, don't go in there and bother them and poke a fight with them. They're at their breaking point. These are not normal circumstances that we're under. So don't go in there provoking a fight with them when you need to be a supporting role, or you need to pull from your higher wisdom, that Jupiter conjunct Pluto energy, and focus that energy elsewhere. And a way that you can use this constructively is by working on whatever it is that you're working on. If you have fitness goals, go ahead and push that out, grind it out, do what you got to do, but make sure that you're not hurting yourself. If there is a certain level of irritation, pound the pavement, go for a walk around the block, do whatever it is that you have to do, and then come back and use that aggression in a way that helps to cement and build up something for the better. I can't tell you how I've used my own sense of loneliness, my own frustration, my own disappointment in order to pour into my brand, in order for me to pour into my work and my effort. That's just me. I have challenges, all challenges in my chart. I don't have any trines in my chart. I have more squares in my chart than anything. I always take that irritation and I turn it into a stepping stone. For those of you guys that are on the YouTube channel, for those of you guys that are streaming with live, go ahead and take a moment and go ahead and like this video. We're at 10 minutes. And those of you guys that are on Instagram, I'm going to invite you to go ahead and migrate over to the YouTube channel so that you can follow through with the rest of this conversation. Until then, I'll see you guys later. Bye. Okay. Yeah, but okay, so I'm seeing some likes up. Thank you guys. I really appreciate it. We have about 1,200 people in here and 762 likes. So yeah. One thing that I wrote is that this day is obviously it's exact on the 7th, but one thing that I wrote is I just don't want to do this anymore. That's what it is that I heard as I was pulling the chart and as I was taking my notes. This is that energy of, I don't know, I just heard people being like, I don't want to do this anymore. Or you have a book or something and you throw it down. Or you get in a fight with someone. And honestly, what I don't want you guys to do, especially with the energy of Libra, I see you looking at me, sir. I have big windows, and sometimes people can see what it is that I'm doing. And when they just stare at me, especially when the lights are going, the studio lights are going. Anyways, pardon me. So yeah, especially with the energy of Libra, there's this tendency for some people to compromise and to overly compromise in order to be harmoniously realigned with something that is not in their best interest. There are some people and some things that you simply should not be fraternizing with. Is that the right word? There are some people and some things that are not, they don't have your best interest at heart. They don't serve a purpose. It's not all about what it is that you can gain from them. It's about what it is that you actually are gaining from them. Are you gaining irritations? Are you gaining frustrations? Are you, whoa, Troya says, hello, I would love to get a private reading from you. I have been meditating on this. Energy picks you. Thank you for your love and for what you do for people. Thank you so much, Troya. That was beautiful. Yeah, I really appreciate that so much. I don't know why I'm rubbing my neck right now. Sometimes I pick up on people's energies, and I don't know if that's something that you've been feeling in your neck. As soon as I read that, though, everyone's like, wow, that's so awesome. It really is. It really is. But I also am picking up some, yeah, rub your neck. Thank you so much, Troya. We'll reach out to you, of course. Absolutely, we'll reach out to you. Eric, if you can do that for me, my love, I really appreciate it. We'll get that ball rolling for you. I have some time. But okay, so full moon in Libra, right? So this is that space where it's really easy to kind of succumb. And that's what it is that I was saying, is that some of you guys, this routine, this thing that you've been doing is the same thing that you have to stop doing. Sometimes it's you being so available. Sometimes it's you not being available enough. Infinity's butterfly says, yes, I have neck pain. Go ahead and rub it out. That's something that I was feeling like immediately. Just go ahead and, you guys, while you're listening to me, just rub your neck. Just get right in there, especially the base of your neck right here. You'd be surprised how energy wants to go in there. When I was in New Orleans, that spot used to buzz all the time, which was a red flag for me, that there was like energy that was trying to align with me that wasn't constructive at all by any means. But some of you guys, you just got to, you want to ask and you want to do better. Some of you guys are calling in soulmates, like really calling in soulmate partnerships, relationships, friendships, and finding your soul tribe. After this full moon, I talk about the full moon in my full moon video, but I'm seeing that a lot of you guys are really finding synastry, like you're finding your person, you're finding your partner. And that's why I'm feeling like you have to kind of deviate. Another reason why I feel like you have to deviate from your normal. Some of you guys might be planning on a move. You might be planning on adjusting. I just heard setting your sails. I don't know what that means, but it's almost like you're fixing your sail, like your sailboat, the sails. When you're originally moving this way and Spirit says, move your sails so that you end up moving this way, because here is where you will find what is that you're looking for, or something that is going to help you, or something that is better. That's one of the first things that I said at the very beginning. I just feel like there's this space of shifting, like total shifting, so that you can experience something, be at the right place at the right time, deviate from your normal. It's definitely in relationships. Libra rules relationships, but as a whole, I want you guys to be very conscious of what it is that you're aligning with. Look at this. The cards are like, every single one of you guys, you don't need to worry anymore. You don't need to worry. There's a lot of things that are going on in the planet right now. There's a lot of things in the world. You don't need to worry about that. This card just jumped out. It says, literally, first of all, yeehaw. reminds me of the prophecy that it is I saw, this vision that I saw of all of us on this roller coaster, and we had to put our hands up. We're just like locked and loaded, you know. This roller coaster is going to shoot off whether you're ready or not. 5 years later, it's still going, right? But it's not only about being right. What does that mean, to be right? This is a perspective. To be right says that my perspective and my way is the right way. The thing is that spirit doesn't see things as right or wrong. It says that at the end of the day, we have to have love, compassion, forgiveness for everyone. Everyone needs to be considered and everyone needs to be seen. And I feel like that's why we don't need to, that's why we don't need to worry about certain things. That's why we don't need to be this roller coaster ride that we're on. It's not about what has been right and the rules and your perception of things and proving that point. If you stay rigid in that mindset of I'm going to prove that this way works, you block out all of the blessings and all of the new evidence, all of the new things that could be explored, all of the new things that can be experienced, simply because you're putting so much energy, rigid energy, into proving the point that this way is the only way. And that's simply not the case. You want to be a person that says, I'm listening. Actually, I'm here. I'm moving from love. Wow. Love doesn't have to be near, which is so funny. I'm here. Love doesn't have to be near. I'm feeling like so many of you guys, you really, truly are, you might be disconnected from something or feeling disconnected, but you're never really, truly disconnected. Ooh. Casey Sunshine, hello, welcome back again, my love. I see you all the time. She says, can I call in willpower this week? Abso-fucking-lutely. Please do. Please do. On the 11th, Mercury then moves into Aries, and all of what it is that you have adjusted to this week is going to help you to put your willpower and put your mind power and your intention into seeing things through in order to seeing things moving forward. Also on this day, Mercury sextiles with Saturn. Keep it simple. This is when it's like you simplify your entire life. Like, it's simplification means that you have been completely detoxed of burdens, barriers, obstacles that don't serve a purpose. And it also means that you don't need things to make you happy. You don't need things to fulfill you. All you needed was the bare minimum. This, for some of you guys, you truly are simplifying your life, but more than anything, I'm feeling like you're starting to see from the stripping process, especially Pluto. By the time Pluto exits out of Saturn, I can guarantee you, number one, we're going to be totally different as a complete world. But I feel like we're not going to have all of these things that we feel like we need in order to give us control or give us a sense of safety or, structure or, fill in the blank of whatever it is. Hey, Tasha. Tasha's in here. Cool. But yeah, you're just going to be totally detoxed of that. That's what it is that we're going through right now, is a detox, an energetic, spiritual, emotional, mental detoxification of the ways of the old. Look at this card just jumped out again. It's not only about being right. This feels like the earth. This feels like the universe being like, you guys have been focusing on the wrong thing for too long. You guys have been focusing on, this has to be this way because this is the only way. This is the only way that it can be. And if it deviates from my normal, if it doesn't feel this way, then it has to be bad. And it has to be wrong. And I just feel like the earth and spirit, like this is a very universal energy. This is very earth-based energy, is trying to remind us that you have to look at, there's more than one way to see something. There's more than one way to experience something. There's more than one way that you can be of service. There's more of one way that this can happen, that this can occur. Stop being rigid and stuck in your way of it has to be right. This is the only right way. Anything else is wrong. Nope, I won't even consider it. Also, I'm seeing those you love you. which I really love that. I want to read this card, the back of it to you. In all tests of character, when two viewpoints are pitted against each other, in the final analysis, the final times, which is where we're at right now, the thing that will strike you the most is not who was right or wrong, strong or weak, wise or foolish. That has Jupiter written all over it, and Pluto and Saturn written all over it. But who went to the greater length in considering the other's perspective? That's Libra energy. Literally, that was our entire current planets summed up in one card. And the universe says, don't you agree? So it's like, consider it, just kind of sit with it. And I find it really interesting that it says in all tests of character. That's exactly what it was I was saying at the very beginning, that this is a test. Yeah, She Wolf Living says, wow, that's all summed up. I know. Can I pull one more card? Okay, two more. And then I'm going to go ahead and close out the night and move on, because I've been talking all day. And I really am very excited to get focused on working on the candles. I have a lot of energy, and tonight I'm working on my protection candles, and I'm also working on like banishing candles. I feel like I have to ground myself for this one, actually. Okay, you guys, let's just sit for a moment and ground ourselves really quickly. Just really quickly. Just give me a minute. I'm just going to ground ourselves and have just a really soft moment, a really sweet moment with the divine, with the universe. A message that we need to hear, a message that we need to receive, some guidance, some additional guidance outside of the astrology planets, outside of my intuition, just anything else that you want us to see, anything else that you want to fulfill. First things first, I'm seeing, this isn't, so okay, this is really funny. I'm seeing a turtle carrying the weight of the world on its back, and I'm also seeing little hummingbirds. It's so funny because that was the power animal from earlier. It's this turtle that's carrying the weight of the world. This reminds me of the potential for like earthquakes, but it reminds me of transition. It reminds me of slow and steady progress and taking your time, and there's no rush. It reminds me of sustainability. That's the word that just came through, sustainability. That in order to go the distance, in order to reach your destination, well, first of all, where are you going? The turtle also carries its home on its back, literally and figuratively. And I feel like the turtle has everything that it is that it needs. So sustainability, that's the word that's coming through, sustainability. I know what that means, but you guys know when I do a reading that a word has a message. And I feel like that's the word that just came through. So let me go ahead and sustainability. The ability to be maintained at a certain rate or level, avoidance of the depletion of natural resources in order to maintain ecological balance. That also is very Libra energy. The ability to be maintained at a certain rate or level. That's interesting okay, well, look at that. Maybe this is spirit being like, go ahead, Jess. It was a tortoise. It wasn't a turtle. It was a tortoise. Animal spirit guides. I feel like it almost reminds me, isn't there like an African tale? Tortoise. You're taking on way too many problems and troubles of others. Slow down. Slow down, take your time, enjoy the scenery, even if there's a detour. Be patient, determined, and stick with it. Before you know it, you will achieve what you're after. At this time, pay particular attention to the shifting sensations in your body. Wow, as these are energetically resonating with subtle changes in the vibrations of the earth. It is a good time to change to a vegetarian diet, even if only for a few days. Maybe that's some of you guys are really moving away from your old way of eating and you're switching up. Wow, that's wild. By moving through your life more slowly and attentively, you'll discover a great deal of wisdom emerging from unexpected sources. Yo, that's Jupiter and Pluto conjunction that you'd otherwise miss by being in a hurry. Get out on the land and walk around a bit at about half your usual pace. Look, everything, literally, using this as a meditation. Call on the tortoise when you feel caught up in a chaotic and hectic lifestyle and you want to change it to a slower pace, but you're not sure how to do it. Call on the turtle when you're feeling, the tortoise, when you're feeling weighted down and overwhelmed by all of your responsibilities, even though you know you've created them by taking on too much. There's a story about the tortoise carrying the world on its... Hold on, I'm looking it up. The world turtle. The world turtle is a my theme of giant turtle supporting or containing the world. The my theme, which is similar to that of the world elephant and world serpent, occurs in Hindu mythology. Okay, well, hold on. A vulture. Okay, wait. Okay. This is so weird. Hold on. Why can the deity in the form of a tortoise who possesses an inconceivable, a vulture, whichever has only little strength, rest in the sky holding a snake in its beak for 3 hours? Why can the deity in the form of a tortoise who possesses an inconceivable potency not hold the earth and the sky for billions of years? Which compares, Lenape myth of the great turtle. Wait, hold on. When the father was explaining, okay, I'm sorry. I think it's actually Lenape. Am I saying that right? Turtle. No, the great turtle. Okay, you guys, we're going to have to look into this later because I don't want to. The world turtle. I'm sorry, guys. I get so, sometimes when these things come through. Turtle Island. What? The US? Oh, God. I hope nothing's going to happen to them. I don't know what Turtle Island is. But look, this is what I'm looking at currently right now. Bina B says, so much confirmation. Good, my love. The account, oh, okay. Can I read it to you guys? I'm sorry, this Astro chat. Mel and Eric, feel free to leave if you have to. Okay, there has been no shortage of stories and theories that have attempted to explain how the world came into existence, many of them from a religion. Why so many stories across different... Okay, this account of the beginning of creation has appeared. Wow, beginning of creation. I feel like we're probably like on the dawn of this new world. For Hindus, the turtle myth actually has similarities to other creatures in their culture that occur in creation myths, such as the world serpent and the world elephant. The account describes the body of the turtle as the container or the universe itself. The earth is actually the turtle's lower shell, while the atmosphere is its body. The upper shell is what houses the heavenly realm. Within Hinduism, the turtle is actually called Kurma, although across many different cultures, the world turtle is also referred to as the cosmic turtle, the divine turtle, and the world-bearing turtle. That's so funny. This is why I love these visions that it is that I get, because I never heard of this before. Okay. It takes in different faiths. That's number one. That's definitely number one. Wow. Okay. I don't know. I still don't know what it means. I still don't know what that means at all. Anyways. Okay. So let me go ahead and shuffle because, and maybe you guys can explain it to me. But remember, this is a tortoise and not a turtle. I keep saying that, but it's definitely not. It's definitely not a turtle. It was a tortoise specifically. Look at this little guy. He's so cute. He's so sweet. Okay, what is this message? Oh. What if I started crying here? I've done it before. Do you guys remember back in Philadelphia that one time when I started crying on my live chat because I was talking about what was going on in the planets, and as I was talking about it, of what's going on in the planets, it was also going on in my personal life, because of course it was, because we're all under the same planets. And everyone was like, Jess, you could take a break. And I was like, no, it's not that I need to take a break. I just needed to get this out. It just was like I was talking about it, and as I was talking about it, it was resonating. And I'm not the type. I make you guys cry all the time, so God forbid I cry in front of you, right? Like I wasn't gonna turn it off. Okay. Wow, there's, okay. Okay, well, one more. Okay, I hear you. I hear you. And that's the last thing I'll say. Okay. Whew, okay, first things first, we have two cards that talk about time. I have two cards. Kai says, yep, that is true. Okay, we have two cards that are talking about time and destiny, but also where it is that we're headed, where it is that we're destined to go, where divine time is taking us. This has everything to do with our message that's connected to the tortoise. I don't know why that was the vision that came through. I've never seen it before. I've never heard of it before, for the most part. The Empress energy is also here. Tyra says, thank you so much, Jess. Of course, my love. Of course. Okay, an Ace of Swords. This is a truth, but I'm also seeing the space of protection, which makes a lot of sense because the tortoise has that shell over it in order to protect it and its softness on the inside. But it also, and then also I have these two cards here at the very top. The well, which means that there's more to this. If you dig a little deeper, there's more to the bottom, in the bottom of the well, or you make a wish into the well. And then also the house is the home. It's a space that you belong, and it's also the place that the Empress resides. Purple diamondified. I just butchered that and said, this is synchronicity in live action. Amazing. Wonderful. Okay, she says, Ina, I'm just going to shorten your name right now, says, I literally feel my body shift. Yo, good. I feel as though, and then we also have the serpent at the very base of this. So the serpent represents in a lot of ways, and I just looked at the clock, it's 1:11, but the serpent in a lot of ways represents hidden and forbidden, sometimes knowledge. It's wisdom. This card, I see this as wisdom, especially with the Eight of Wands and the Knight of Swords. This is information that seems forbidden and taboo. I have an issue, me personally, I have an issue with the snake being so close to the Empress. That's just me right now. So I have an issue with that. We also have the High Priestess and we have the King of Pentacles in the cards for what's coming. And then what is in the past, we have Seven of Wands and we have the Lover's card reversed. So right away, what it is that I'm feeling, what is it I'm sensing from these cards is literally pacing, time. Time is not running out. Time is not, it kind of reminds me of what it was that I was saying before, that card that we pulled, which is it's not only about being right, it's about respecting timing. It's about divine timing. Pauline says, I dreamt of monks last night. That sounds like a really interesting dream, like for real. That gives me Hierophant vibes, and also the Hermit. But the tortoise is known for really taking its time and making its way and not rushing to its final destiny, not rushing to the final destination. You wouldn't want to. The same thing with the Empress. I feel like there's more truths that are going to be making themselves known probably around the time when Mercury moves into the sign of Aries. The other thing is that I'm seeing is that some of you guys, you don't want to rush into certain things because there's more information, especially with the High Priestess, that isn't known yet. And certain things have to really gestate is the word that I'm going to use, but there's certain things that have to, fall into place and be there to support you and be there during this time of need for all of us. This is not something that if you run into it, you could be putting yourself in a space of danger. You can be putting yourself in a space of, premature development is something that's coming through, especially as I'm looking at the Lover's card. I don't know why that came through, but it feels very premature. You want to have respect for all things. You want all things to be considered before you just dive in. And that's when things will become more mature. Okay. Thomas says, thank you so much. Bless everyone. My dad's phone, long story. Avatar Last Airbender show is all about the tortoise last season. Most beautiful show spiritually, but also the heart of lightness of the inner child. I got to check that out, Thomas. Thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate that. Oh, Avatar The Last Airbender. Wow. That's what it is I think you're talking about. I've heard of that show, but I've never watched it before. I'd have to check that out. Or maybe you can send an email and we'll be more than happy to read it. But that's what it is I'm seeing. It's about really, I think that there's more information behind the tortoise. I'm going to be doing my research tonight and I will share what it is that I see on IG. So if you're not following me on Instagram, by all means, do that. But I just feel like and do you guys remember? Wait, do you guys remember I was talking about Mars and that blade, that shanking knife? I shouldn't call it a shanking knife, but that sharp object. I just feel like you just don't want to rush into certain things right now. I feel like there's more going on. I feel like it's really important that we literally do, obviously, stay at home, that we find where it is that we belong. The Empress energy here is the biggest blessing over this entire deck. Even the High Priestess, I get it with the High Priestess, but more than that, the Empress energy is just showing that there's so much that's coming now. Like it's making itself known, it's making itself aware, it's pregnant, especially at the time of the full moon, and the full moon happening in the sign of Libra is very significant. Okay. Journey Rudolph says, watch the show, Jess. All right, I will. Okay, you guys, so that's what it is that I'm seeing. I'm going to remember these cards and I'm going to see how they apply to the message of the tortoise, because I'm intrigued. Please be easy on yourself. Take care of yourself. Take your time. There is a well of resources and worth, things of value. Krishan says, I love Mondays. Me too, babe. I love Tuesdays too, because that means I get to spend time with my Sacred Circle Tarot School. For those of you guys that are in the Sacred Circle Tarot School, I'll see you guys tomorrow. And if you're interested in joining, you can reach out to Eric at info@Bahati Life or check out my website. Until then, I got to give my voice a break. I'm going to go do some research on the turtle, and then I'm going to get started on these candles that will be offered and available in the apothecary in the next shop update. One of the next shop updates. Not this week's shop update, the next update. Okay, bye.